because in sales, people often think that it's like just a consultative process where you're asking these wonderfully tailored questions to the prospect, and that it's all about the quality of the questions that then, that's the way they can analyze their situation, right? And that's a big part of it, because the better you ask your questions, the better they can have the better you can affect your state, and the better you can have something for that. But the reason people appreciate your questions, it's not just because they are good questions. They also appreciate it because it's coming from you. So that's important, because if you can then be authentic in your sales, they can feel that the questions, not just do they make sense, but also it aligns with who you are as a person, and the things that you say and the way you communicate aligns with the way you are, then people are going to appreciate that more, because people appreciate authenticity. So that's, I would say, because people think a lot it's just about the things you do and the tangible things. No, it's also about the way you can communicate authentically and be authentically with them, so that they feel that they're talking to a person and not just a robot. Now, the other thing is that it's not just going to help you align more, but it's also going to help you focus better, right? Because if you're listening to your prospect and then you feel like you can actually hear what he's talking about, and you can actually absorb that and not be distracted by other things going on, you not wanting to be there. If you can actually focus and listen to the person in front of you, then obviously they're going to feel good about that, because people want to be listened to, they want to feel valued. And if you can give them your attention, and if you can make sure that your attention is high quality in the first place, that you can focus on something, people are going to appreciate that. And not only are they going to appreciate that, it's also going to allow you to come up with better questions, right? Because the more you can listen to them, the more you can also analyze what's going on in their mind and in their life, and then the better asked questions you can tailor back to them, right? So that obviously helps. Now, that is really the big part where it's going to help you. It's both presence and alignment. And so what you can do for that, if you already know how to meditate, then practice that. If you don't know that, then you can start doing that. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to go out there and sit in a lotus position, and you need to close your eyes for 20 minutes and put up some hippie God frequency or anything like that. You can do that if you want, but you don't have to do that. What I would say is just when you are in sales calls, and cold calls to an extent, but especially sales calls, slow down and just start listening to, start feeling more into what's happening, right? And if you're someone who is very logical, that might be difficult to grasp, because it's not like an input you can give to a computer. But if you can listen to yourself on what that actually means, what that would look like for you, to listen to your feelings, to listen to your situation, you'll start being able to do that. Just make sure your intention is right, then you can start developing your process for that. So that's important. And then practice that. Just start listening to your body, slow down, listen to your environment. And then whenever the prospect says something, when you start feeling more, you'll be able to feel that hey, what he just said, this made me feel a certain way, or this made me have a certain emotional reaction to that. And the more you can be aware of that, the more you'll start to solve those tensions within yourself, the better an impression you'll make, and you'll improve your personality as a result of it, and especially you'll improve like your communication as a result of it. And then people, when they see you, you won't even need to say a lot of words always. Sometimes people will just feel that you have the right energy, the right mindset, and people will just feel like they can trust you, like they can tell you about their situations or that you are used to this. So that's something I think is very useful, especially if you want to be a conscious entrepreneur and a conscious communicator. But it's not just about like hippie world or things like that. It also actually helps you improve your performance. So do that. Listen to your body. Whenever the prospect says something, also when you say something yourself, you want to have sometimes like when you say something to the prospect, it will also cause something within you, and then you also be aware of that and just don't judge it, just let it pass and try to nudge yourself along the direction that you feel is right. So for example, maybe if you sense like anger, or maybe if you sense like frustration and you feel like the right way is just not to do that or not to have that feeling, because sometimes you may want to have that feeling, but sometimes anger can be a good thing, but also often it can be a destructive thing. So you need to kind of judge whether that the feeling is the right feeling. And then just slowing down and listening to that will allow you to be more aware of that, and you'll be able to tune that more and also understand yourself more and how you respond to situations and how you can do that. So it does give you something to work with. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Keep meditating, keep communicating. Have a good one. Cheers.